everybody, welcome back inside the stash. So this is going to be our introductory video to our Tamiya Lexus LFA build that we're going to be doing here in the first half of 2023. This will be at least I intend for it to be a step-by-step video, long form, but broken into all the different steps. It's not going to be one gigantically long, 15-hour long video. It'll be individual little chunks of it, and hopefully it'll be somewhat consistent in its production. I have a brand new version of my editing software, so I will be playing around with that as we go along, try to make the videos look as good as this costs. After many years of just transiting along with this in its normal phase of being several years out of date, they offered a humdinger of a Black Friday sale on an annual subscription, because now it's like Adobe, where you have to pay an annual cloud subscription rather than being a singular piece of software like it had been in the past. I had avoided getting the subscription to it because it was expensive, but they had a sale that basically gave you a year's worth of subscription service and updates and constant live updates to the program for less than 6 months would normally cost. So yeah, I jumped on that because it was old. And the last all the videos since I've started the channel back up here a couple weeks ago have been on this new software. It hasn't been anything you guys have noticed because I'm just using the old templates from before. However, on my end, this thing renders videos like 10 times faster than it used to. That really doesn't really do a whole lot saving me time, but just from the aspect of it's not something where I put something into edit and then go to bed and then get up for work and then put it online afterwards. I can literally, put it into edit and then go do something, and yay, it's done. Anyway, I'm blathering on about stuff that's unrelated to it. In this introductory video, we're going to take a very quick, about 10-minute look through the box. It is not an in-box review like we do with some kits, because the LFA is not new. It is, at this point, close to 12 years old. So there was no sense in dragging the kit out and going through it piece by piece when there are, I'm assuming, already plenty of reviews of it online. So we are going to, like I said, it may not be literal step-by-step, like step 1, step 2, step 3, but it will be, broken down in a basic format where it's not going to just be like a couple of, hey, look, parts, hey, look, done kind of videos. So it'll have my thoughts about the kit as I'm assembling it, and any sort of problems or things to look out for, things I like, things I don't like, and all that sort of thing. So anyway, kick back, relax, enjoy this, and yeah, hopefully we'll get this one done before too much longer. Show season is rapidly approaching here in the spring. So anyway, camera's going to flip around. We're going to drop into that video, and hope you enjoy it. Alright guys, so this is going to be one of the two projects we're going to be working on in the first half of this year. This is going to be for a group build. Actually, both of these would be for group builds, but we're just talking about this one for right now. We're not going to do a kit review here because this kit has been out for like 8 years at this point. It is what it is, in the sense of you ought to know what it is by now if you're interested in it at all. But we are going to take a real quick look through the box, just to sort of give you an idea, if you happen to have not seen this one before, what you're going to get in the box. Now, this was, for the longest time, the most expensive kit that Tamiya had ever produced. It has an end cap price, or if you ever notice on a Japanese kit, it'll have a little parts number or the kit number, and then it'll have a 4-digit code after that. That's not part of the kit number, that's the price in yen that the manufacturer's suggested retail price would be. This is a 5,000 yen end cap price. So when this was new, based on the exchange rates back then, this was like a $52 model kit in Japan, which is why I see some people like, oh, this kit's so expensive. I don't understand why it's so expensive. Well, that's why it's so expensive, because it is, to this day, legitimately the most expensive 1/24 scale. That's the key. There's more expensive 1/12 scale, obviously. The planes and stuff like that are more expensive. 1/32 scale planes are really more expensive, but this was the most expensive car kit in 1/24 scale that Tamiya has ever done. In retrospect, many years later, Mr. Tamiya had said that this kit was probably too complex, they were trying to do too much with it, and then they would never attempt the kit with this sort of level of detail and extras and things like that again. It was sort of a attempt to see if they could do it, and they could, and they did, but it was more hassle than it was worth, basically. I'm going to be doing mine in a color called Liquid Blue Pearl. For anybody who doesn't know, Lexus made 500 of these LFAs. Approximately 100 of them are the Nuremberg edition, which Hobby Design makes a trans kit for. Despite the fact that the Hobby Design's trans kit has an orange car on the box, none of those Nuremberg editions were actually ever produced in orange, which is kind of funny. I do want to do mine in white as the 500th car. Literally the last LFA ever produced was a Nuremberg edition, and that's going to probably be the one that I do. Of the Liquid Blue Pearl cars, there were 9 done in that color, and with the exception of 2 that repeat with a red and black interior, every other one of them, so the other 7, are one-offs in the sense that their interior color combinations are specific to the individual car, and it's not repeated within that Liquid Blue Pearl lineup. So there's a couple with all blue interiors, a couple with all black, and there's one with an all blue, one with an all black, one with a black and red, one with a black and blue, one with a blue and white. There's the purple Alcantara one that's one of the JDM ones that's literally in Japan. And then, like I said, there are 2 red and black interiors with that blue color that sort of repeat. So those are one of 2s, basically. Otherwise, all the cars are pretty much the same. And with that being said, we're going to do a one-on-one of the 1 of 9 that are painted in that liquid blue metallic. The paint should be here today, so when I actually jump into this pretty quick, right after we get done making this video, we'll start making the videos for the actual build. So, again, taking a look in the box, if you have not seen it. Oh, look, instructions. Who would have thought? You get 1 large sprue in silver, and this is pretty much all of your engine and drivetrain and a little bit of suspension. You've got your exhaust, you've got your brakes in here as well, your upper A-arms and bits of the suspension, and then, of course, your engine detail is primarily what's in here. You get 1 large sprue in black, and this is your space frame, your interior tub, most of your interior pieces, the inner wheel or the inner fender wells, the intake for the engine is on here, and your dash and stuff like that. The 1 engine component here in black, your serpentine belt, and your valve covers. You get another black, sort of smaller one, and this has pretty much all of your body panels and things like that. Your scuttle panel, these are your under trays. You're going to put a lot of detail into making what is basically a space frame chassis that you'll see as we go along, and then all of it gets covered up. Pretty much. You see part of the exhaust pipe and part of like the bottom of the oil pan, and then everything else goes away. This has some of your vents on it, and your radiators, or your radiators, your sill plates, half shafts, the engine surround, your scuttle panel for your wipers. There's that. You get, of course, your clear pieces. Your windows are all one piece in this kit, except for the rear window that's in the sort of the rear firewall. Pretty much what you expect. Clear pieces. 1 bright chrome runner that has your Lexus logo, as well as your headlight and taillight buckets. 2 small white sprues. This is body components. Obviously, it's got your hood, and then this has your mirrors, your side skirts, the up and down spoiler. You can do this spoiler in 2 different formats as far as whether or not it's raised or lowered. It's kind of a goofy gimmick because obviously this is a speed activated spoiler. The spoiler should never be raised when the car is parked, but it gives you the option if you want to do that. And then this one has the rest of your interior components. Your basically your seats, your door panel pulls, steering wheel, license plate backs. Got to put those someplace, I guess. In your, let's see here, 1 matte plated wheels, the wing struts for the raised wing if you want to do that. and then it has your exhaust tips and your door pull, the rest of your door pulls for the interior. Your tire package has tires, polycaps, and if you can see down in there, right in there, are a set of rare earth magnets, because the wings are swappable. You will glue your magnets into this depressed area. It should really get some counseling. Back here, these 3 holes are where the magnets go, and then each one of these spoiler attachments have little indentations underneath. Let's see, here, these 3 little indentations here, and I'm trying to find the brace for it. I think it's on a different piece, but they have PE pieces. These 5 little they give it a couple spares, but there's these little PE pieces go into the base of the spoiler, and that's what the magnets latch onto, and that way you could actually swap out your spoiler down and up if you want to. There's also a pair of magnets that go into the bottom side of the hood. I'm trying to see if there you go, here, and that there is a prop rod that has PE pieces attached to it that you stick to the bottom of the hood, and that gives you the ability to always have a prop rod in the car, and you literally can prop the hood open when you're displaying it. Obviously, you get a fret of PE in here, which is basically outside grills, some mesh for the radiators, mesh for the front. You have your cross brace underneath as well. And then you get a set of window masks in here as well. These are all internal window masks. You do have to sort of mask off the outside of the thing when you're painting them. But yeah, that's pretty much that. And then this, of course, is your body. Multi-piece body. You have to put the inserts in here for the for this intake area, for this intake area as well. And then pretty much, really, that's it. You do put a brace in back here that sort of holds the rear taillights in, and you know, the spoiler here will sort of becomes the trunk, if you will, to cover up that area. Body in this looks pretty good. Mine is still hanging in there strong after all these years of storage. And yeah, I mean, it's a very complicated kit, especially in the drivetrain and engine and suspension. However, it's a Tamiya kit. I've never actually heard anyone have any problems building one of these. Minimal panel lines. They're pretty much everywhere you would expect them to be in terms of where they follow and things like that. Cleanup is what cleanup is, pretty much in any model kit. Although the panel lines are obviously much fainter on this. You might want to shoot it with some primer and then take your panel lines off. Some guys who were participating in the group build have, you know, oh, I got it all cleaned up, painted it got some primer on it, went, oh no, I missed a bunch of stuff. So that might be one of those cases where you actually put a guide coat down on this and then sand the panel lines off rather than trying to do it the other way around. Depends on what color you're painting it. I had to double check what the base primer color is supposed to be for this pearl, if it's going to be white or if it's going to be gray. If it's gray, I might guide coat it and then do the panel lines. If it's white, I'll do the panel lines ahead of time and just hope for the best. Be real thorough. So guys, like I said, that sort of covers this, what you get in the box kind of thing. This is a pamphlet instructions with the actual staples in it, so this is a book rather than the fold out things, and we are going to get cracking on this, building the engine. So tune back in a couple of days, weeks, months, years, and we'll meet you here at step 1, assembling this engine block and getting it all painted up, and get rolling on this project. See you guys on the other side.